Hi, I'm Camille with Hill with Camille. How do you know you're with the right one and the one you should marry? A lot of people are struggling to understand what love really is. And let me tell you something. In the beginning of every relationship, you're Twitter-pated, you're fascinated, you're horny. You just can't wait to touch each other. That's infatuation, but that ain't love yet. Love comes in when you really have to deal with something together, when you're going through something together. So is it over if one of you cheats? Is it over if there's a health crisis? Is it over if you move out of town or have to travel and come back? No. What happens is this. Relationships don't really get off the ground or get in a committed state until there's something to work out together. You have to really see how each other handles difficult situations as a couple, as a team. So in the beginning of a relationship, until you're 100% committed, a lot of people are still looking around. They're on dating apps. They found each other on a dating app. Maybe they haven't wound down from all the people they're talking to, and they start dating you. And you feel like this is it, and they think it's it too, but you still have a little stage to go into to kind of say goodbye to everybody else. Well, what if you sext another person, but you're still interested in this person? What if they sext somebody else? What if they hook up with somebody else? Should you just tell them to F off and walk away and start over? Not necessarily. If you're in a committed relationship and that happens, well, then we got a problem. But in the early stages of a relationship, when you're starting to get committed, this kind of stuff happens. It's not all of a sudden, maybe it is for some people, but not everybody. All of a sudden you go, oh, this person's it, and I am 100% theirs forever now, forever on. Well, we love that. That's the romantic ideal, but that's not usually the truth. People do have to wind down and wind up for things. If someone does betray you or do something stupid, they sexted an ex-girlfriend, or because they're being tested, really. Look, when you commit to the universe or you commit to anything, do you realize that you're going to get tested in your commitment the minute you do that? It's like, just kidding. You have to figure out if you're really going to be able to be committed. So in a relationship, it's the same thing. So you got to look at it. Let's just say somebody's sexting another person. Is that a deal breaker? Maybe if you're thin-skinned and you can't move past things with people. But what if they're not really cheaters? They're just saying goodbye. Okay, and they just can't turn down a free text or something. Look, especially men, they have a hard time turning down free pussy, just saying. But that doesn't mean they can't be committed. So when this happens, or if it happens, now you got to pull back and realize, okay, who am I going to be in this situation, and who are they going to be in this situation? Now, I'm not saying continue to give and expect nothing in return, and I'm not saying to ignore that. You need to stop giving and say, what does this really mean? And have a conversation. Because you've got to get the truth out of that person. What do they really want? Now, if they're humming and hawing and justifying and, I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, big deal. I didn't sleep with her or whatever. Well, that doesn't mean you wouldn't, but it does mean that they're not committed yet. And so you have to pull back and stop investing. You have to be able to say, no, doesn't work for me. I'm not going to go forward until I have some clear, honest communication. But you also don't want to take this, and turn it into something to beat them up with either. You want to be able to move past this and let it go and forgive them. But if you're committing more than they're committing, you're going to resent that person. And don't set yourself up to get hurt like that, right? Look, if he's still dating around all these other girls and you're sitting around waiting for him to call and you're waiting and not dating, you're going to get hurt. You're setting yourself up to hurt. Plus, you're not as fun. Look, now it's serious to you, and now you have expectations and you want something out of this relationship. And then he's out having fun and you're like wanting him. And then you guilt trip him. It's okay, online shit. Look, what's so funny to me is when these people from out of the country get all butthurt that you're not there to text them or flirt with them right back. They send emoji an angry face or something. That's not real. Okay, anything out of the country like this is not real. And I've got a young girl that's 28 years old. I know she's talking to this guy out of the country, planning on marrying him with 3 kids. No, it's not going to work out. And don't send people like that money. Okay, so I digressed a little bit. But back to a committed relationship. You want to look at how people work out their problems. Let's just say one person has to travel and they're going on a mission, hypothetical. We're in Utah, that happens a lot. Do you wait? No, you don't wait around, because then you're going to resent that person if they come back and don't marry you. And then you're building up all these expectations in your head that he or she has to fulfill upon, and they don't know that they have to fulfill upon. And they're in their life, doing their life, living what they got to do. You need to do that as well. Trust the universe. Trust the future. Trust yourself. Date, grow, learn. You don't have to get married, but you do want to put yourself out there and not be a hermit. So I think people get a little weird about what is love. Love isn't just a great, honest feeling. That's one part of it. But love is also commitment. Love is also integrity. Love is being your word. Love is commitment. Love is a feeling, but you have to have the same person doing the same thing in return. If you don't have reciprocity, it will not work out anyway. So when you do decide to just make each other it, and you're faithful and you're monogamous and you move forward, there's going to be a challenge. There's going to be a test. The power struggle phase will begin. That usually lasts 4 months. 120 days, you won't know if this thing's going to work for 120 days. So keep that in your head and let the power struggle begin. It's where you're both trying to take territory and make sure that you're not going to get dominated. So that's what's normal. That's what's healthy. I think that you can figure that out within the 120 days and don't waste your time if it's not going to work after that. So if you have a commitment concern or a challenge or question, I'm happy to answer your questions. Send me a text or come and see me.